Hi, in this video I want to talk to you about potassium deficiency symptoms. Please stay tuned for this because I think you may be surprised how many there actually are. And it may be something that's affecting you or some of your family. Hi, it's Dr. Joe with 2 Minutes to Better Health. Well, some would argue that potassium is the most important mineral in the human body. If not that, I definitely believe it's in the top 2 or 3. So let's find out a little bit more about potassium. All right, so there's a lot of different roles. I believe number 1 is one of the most important, if not the most important. It maintains healthy nerve function. It basically conducts electricity, and just like a battery needs ions in that battery to properly start an engine or to work at all, that's how the body works. It basically sends electrical ions through the body, and potassium is one of the most, if not the most important mineral for that function to occur. So every nerve function requires potassium. It regulates fluid balance inside and outside of the cells. This is crucial. There has to be a nice balance between the water and fluid inside of a cell and outside of the cell. When that becomes out of balance, a lot of health benefits or detriments can settle in. Blood pressure control. This is one of them. Blood pressure has a lot to do with fluid retention or lack of it in the body if it's too low blood pressure. So this is crucial to have sufficient amounts of potassium in the body. We'll find out more about that. Muscle contraction. So nerves are involved in everything. Muscle contraction is one of them. And this is not just muscles for like lifting weights or walking upstairs. These are crucial muscles like the heart. Every contraction of the heart requires potassium. It's crucial. Breathing muscles, so proper respiration requires good amounts of potassium, and the stomach and intestines. So as food is being digested and moving its way through the digestive system for elimination, it vitally requires potassium. Hydrochloric acid production, that's the stuff in the stomach that breaks down the food. So that's very crucial to have sufficient amounts of potassium. And actually a lack of it would act very similarly to someone taking a proton pump inhibitor or an antacid to cut the stomach acid. So lack of potassium will actually reduce the amount produced in the body, which is crucial for overall digestion of proteins and many other components of food. So it helps regulate blood sugar. This is huge. A lot of people have cravings. We're going to talk about that in a moment. And in large part it's because blood sugar regulation. You need potassium to get the sugar that's in the blood out of the blood into the cells for function, and lack of it's going to cause cravings. All right, so deficiency symptoms, high blood pressure, we talked about that. You need a proper balance. Fluid retention, so many people retain fluid in other parts of their body, ankles, wrists, everywhere, including things like carpal tunnel. That has a lot to do with fluid retention, so that has to do with the mineral in the right balance. Muscle spasms and contraction or cramping or achiness in the body has a ton to do with potassium deficiencies. Muscle weakness, many people just feel like, oh, I'm out of shape. Well, in many cases, it's because the nerves aren't properly allowing those muscles to contract properly, and there's a weakness in the muscles. Abnormal heartbeat. Okay, the heart is a muscle, like I said. So arrhythmia, atrial fibrillation, many of these heart conditions that people have, heart palpitations, have a lot to do with deficiencies in potassium. And folks, this is a mineral that we need a lot of during the day. Upwards of 5,000 milligrams per day is needed on a daily basis. So if you're deficient, any of these symptoms can settle in. Constipation, if the body can't properly contract in the digestive system, constipation is going to occur because it can't push it out properly. Poor digestion in general, that hydrochloric acid and not moving the food through the system. Breathing problems, a lot of people with asthma and issues like that, any type of respiratory problem is in part because of the deficiencies in potassium. Insomnia, can't go to sleep because your body can't relax. Sugar cravings, we talked about that. Elevated need for insulin. So if your body is not properly moving the blood, sugar out of it into the cells, you're going to need more insulin to try to force it out. So a lot of people develop insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes initially, and sometimes type 1 diabetes. Anxiety, if your body is not able to relax because that nerve contraction is not occurring, it's not going to feel at rest, often causing anxiety. Fatigue, you're not going to sleep well, so you're going to have fatigue, and also every nerve ending communicates to the body, so your body's just going to feel sluggish because it's not getting those ions flowing through it like the battery. If the battery is sluggish, you can't even turn the engine on the car. Very similar, if the ions are low in the body, you can't turn the engine on, and you will be fatigued. Okay, tingling and numbness. A lot of people actually have this issue. They think they've got a pinched nerve. In many cases they do, but it's often exaggerated by a deficiency in potassium, so understand that. Kidney stones, there's a balance of minerals in the body. In many cases, it's because of the deficiency of the potassium that the minerals are depositing in the kidneys, or possibly gallstones as well. Osteoporosis, it's a huge need. We need calcium for sure for the bones, but potassium is also a very important one. So a lot of people say, well, let me do some blood work, find out if I'm low in potassium, that'll tell me everything. Not in this situation. Upwards of 98% of potassium in the body is in the cells. That basically means when you do a blood test, you're not going to see it. It's in the tissue, not in the bloodstream. That's the supply lines to get it to the cells. So doing blood work, likely not going to show up. So if you do that, it's going to be a false, feeling of, oh, I'm okay. No, most people actually do have a slightly low, if not significantly low amount of potassium. That's why this laundry list of symptoms is occurring so much in our culture. So realize that. So long video here if we went into how to handle this. So tomorrow we're going to talk about reasons for the deficiency, understanding that, and how to reverse it. Some natural ways to do that, what types of foods to consume. So please stay tuned, share with friends and family, anyone you know struggling with those symptoms, and look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video. Have a great day.